Okay, welcome to a new episode of Nate's MMA Corner. I'm Nate, and if you're watching my show, you're in my corner. What else is new? So, today's episode is a pre-fight show for UFC Fight Night, Arlovski versus Overeem. Heavyweight clash of the ages, two top 10 ranked heavyweights. Former UFC heavyweight champ Andrei the Pitbull Arlovski versus former Strikeforce heavyweight champ and K1 superstar Alistair the Overeem. This is a pre-fight show, the main card, and let's get started. I'll do my predictions and go over each main card match. So let's get started. So, you know what? I'll save the best for last. I mean, the main event's so explosive, so I'll save the best, my favorite match for last, which is the main event. So I'll start off with what the main card starts off with, which is the women's strawweight bout with Karolina Kowalkiewicz versus Heather Jo Clark. Did I say that right? Kowalkiewicz versus Heather Jo Clark. Yeah. Anyways, Karolina, obviously great striker. Heather Jo Clark, well-rounded, Invicta FC veteran. Yeah, like, I'm rooting for Heather Jo Clark in this fight, but I think Karolina's striking and takedown defense and her speed is just going to be too much, and I think she's going to outpoint Heather Jo Clark and win 30-27 unanimous decision. I think Karolina is a prospect to look out for in the women's strawweight division. So, with that said, I think this is pretty cut and dry victory for Karolina. Then, in the light heavyweight division, we have Nikita Krylov versus Francimar Barroso. Nikita Krylov, I picked submission second round. I think his ground game is top notch. His submission skills are pretty good, and I think his strength and his stamina hold true to this. And I think he gets a second round submission over Francimar Barroso. But Francimar, I think, holds him off in the first round, defending the submissions. I could see some heavy shots thrown on both sides, more so on Nikita Krylov's. I think Krylov's boxing is pretty good. So I think either second round knockout for Krylov or second round submission for Krylov, but I think more likely submission for Krylov. Then in the women's bantamweight division, we have Germaine de Randamie versus Anna Elmos. And yeah, Germaine, she's trained at AKA and she's really good. Obviously, being a Dutch striker, she has great kickboxing, Dutch style kickboxing, and I think that she gets it done. Again, outpoints each and every round. I think she puts on a striking clinic. I don't know about a knockout. This one's a coin toss. I either got her winning by knockout midway into the fight or by decision, but I'm leaning more towards she gets a decision. I think she's just going to be on point in this one, and then it'll just be a good night for her. So Germaine de Randamie, she gets it done by unanimous decision. Then in the welterweight division, we have Albert Tumenov versus my boy Gunnar Nelson. Now, this fight is one of those what I want to happen and what I think is going to happen as a fan. You know, I got to separate the two. Breaking down this fight, I want as a fan Nelson to win this so bad. Be great if he can win by a flashy submission. However, I think he's going to be waiting around too much for the right moment. And Albert Tumenov's submission defense and takedown defense is going to be there for the first couple rounds. And I think it's going to be Nelson's going to just freeze up in that third and final round. He's just going to be stalling way too much. And I think that Aljamain wins unanimous decision, maybe 29-28. Maybe Nelson goes for some good positioning in the first round and maybe squeaks out that first round, but not a lot happening in that first round, I could imagine. And I think Tumenov is going to be mixing up a little bit of striking and keep Nelson guessing, and he's going to stuff takedowns and avoid submission attempts from Nelson en route to a unanimous decision victory, at least 29-28, if not 30-27 for Tumenov. And I think Tumenov, whether we like it or not, is a prospect at welterweight. He's a guy that could have a good, bright future in the next year in the welterweight division. Then in the co-main event, in the heavyweight division, we have Antonio Bigfoot Silva versus Stefan Skyscraper Struve. And I think this one is one of those things where both guys are known for being a little bit of chinny. You know, they both can be knocked out fairly easily once you get inside that reach. But I think Stefan Struve uses that reach that he should have over Antonio Silva, and he knocks him out. I think Antonio Bigfoot Silva is going to be too slow, and Stefan Struve is going to be too fast, and he's going to use his height and reach to find the range fairly quick in this fight. And I say maybe even early in the first round, if not mid to late in the first round, Stefan Struve gets a knockout victory here. It's going to be a good night, a good comeback win for Stefan Struve, who's been not looking the best as of late. He had the big loss to Alistair Overeem, and he's had his injuries and his his illnesses, so his ailments. So I think Stefan Struve has a big comeback win here and gets back in the winning column and back on track here. So I got first round knockout for Stefan Struve. Then, again, best for last, the main event, Alistair Overeem versus Andrei the Pitbull Arlovski. I think that they both, I think Arlovski goes for some big shots in the first round, and I think Overeem's going to be smart and avoids those big shots being landed on him, and he uses his footwork and his speed, and then I think it'll slow down Arlovski after that first round, and I think Overeem will time it right and in the second round get a knockout. Yeah, I think Overeem's going to pick his shots here, and he may even go for a takedown in that second round, but I think that Arlovski would be good enough to get back on his feet. This fight could go either way. I do think there's going to be a finish in this main event. I'm really excited for this one. I like them both. I wish both fighters best of luck as a fan. However, I'm going with, Alistair Overeem second round knockout. I think he does a feeling out process in that first round basically, and then the second round times a knockout perfectly fine. Probably up against the cage. So Alistair Overeem second round knockout. There you have it. There's my predictions for this main card. Stay tuned for my next episode, which will be a post-fight for this main card in the coming days. And yeah, this fight card is going to be amazing, and we got some great prelim action on this. Yeah, you got Neil Siri on the Fight Pass prelims. He's always fun at flyweight. Willie Gates at flyweight. Yeah, I always enjoy him. He's a tall, lengthy fighter for flyweight. And then we got Magnus Blad in middleweight. Yeah, so on the Fox Sports 1 prelims. Yeah, I'm a big Magnus Blad fan. So yeah, there you have it. Stay tuned in the coming days for my post-fight. And until then, see ya.